You are one of the first people in your family to be accepted into college. You're going to Yale. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be valedictorian?
7 years ago, I would have never thought this possible for somebody like me. I had dreams like every other elementary school kid, but I never expected them to come true.
What do you mean?
Well, my parents, they did their best. And I tried to do good in school, but I was sick a lot. Asthma.
How did that affect you?
Missing school. Some months, it just wasn't enough money for an inhaler. And I wanted to play sports so bad. Oh, God. You don't know. But everybody was scared that I couldn't do it.
But something had to have changed. You earned your varsity letter in lacrosse.
Something did change. I met Coach Washington at church, and he had a younger brother who died of asthma. He took an interest in me. He taught me to be goalkeeper, and that is how I earned my letter. Oh, I want to give a shout out to Nurse Donna. Hey, Nurse Donna. She worked at the hospital. I think they called her a care coordinator, but she was always in the community, at the rec, the Boys and Girls Club. When I was a little kid, she came to my apartment and just talked to my parents about asthma. She said that it wasn't a wall that I couldn't get over, but a bump in the road I could navigate around if I did my part. And it wasn't just her, it was like she had this team around her from the hospital and from the community that became like my cheering section. I don't think I could have gotten here without them.
Are they coming to your graduation tonight?
They better.
Graduating from high school is a big deal. It is a day every parent secretly longs for. Life holds few options for kids unable to achieve a high school diploma. Moms and dads know that. Of all the hopes and aspirations that define the meaning of population health, here's one that doesn't get talked about much. Healthier communities create healthier children. Good health, beginning at an early age, helps kids reach their full potential and stay in school. Being present every day in good health is a big step forward to graduation day.
"10, 15, 20 years from now, the kids today will become the doctors and the lawyers and the teachers. So for us, knowing that this is about the milieu in which these children live, not just the healthcare, but their education, their nutritional, their housing, how they get around, all of those things are socioeconomic determinants of their health.
When we talk about population health, it's about managing a population to keep them healthy. It's not about managing sick kids.
Migrating from the traditional fee-for-service market to population-based health, in many senses, is exactly what we do so well today. The difference now is, instead of moving from an economic model where we do something and we get paid for it, now our opportunity is to take a much larger role in assuming risk for populations of children.
But you can't just have a hospital. You have to have a system that involves primary care, specialty networks, payment mechanisms that push quality and value that is higher quality with lower cost.
The new system will pay for the outcomes. You know, how good a job are we doing?
So what we'll be paying for is a high quality, low cost, efficient, coordinated medical system.
Traditionally, asthma has represented a destructive force to the children of our communities. This is a reality that we ignore at our collective peril. Although the symptoms are treatable and the condition manageable, there are needless deaths and far too many visits to the emergency room. ER visits result in days lost from school, an interruption to the lives of parents and caregivers, and an unnecessary burden on the hospital. There is another way. Children can obtain the care they need. the hospital can become more involved in health than in sickness. These outcomes are possible, but the reality is that there is not an endless supply of dollars. A challenge facing all of us is to craft a more thoughtful way of reallocating existing dollars to yield dramatically different healthcare outcomes. And we must all work side by side with uncommon partners to structure and sustain the new healthcare ecosystem.
I spent so much time in emergency rooms, I felt the nurses knew us by name. We thought the emergency room was our doctor's office. But Nurse Donna, she helped us understand. She would call my parents and just check in on us. She and the doctor came up with this saying that, I still remember it. She said that I could manage my asthma if I knew my MAPs: mold, animal dander, aerosols, pollen, and smoke. And that, I love that.
Managing asthma is not mysterious. Standard protocols exist. Keeping children healthy is part of what we know how to do well. But educating families must remain a singular priority. From there, it becomes about the providers, not only the doctors, but the school nurses and mid-level providers working alongside the family, monitoring how the child is doing. This is how to keep children out of the ER. This is how the population health enterprise can work to move us away from only treating sick kids to the place where we are keeping young ones healthy and moving forward in their lives.
If we're not making the changes when they're young, it's going to affect them. And the more that they're sick as a young child, the more school they're going to miss, the more it's going to affect their education. It's like a vicious cycle.
The challenge for my parents' generation was learning how to trust technology. You see, when the doctor came in and told them that my medical records were stored in a cloud, they freaked. They were like, oh, what? But for me, I mean, it was cool. It made total sense.
To truly manage the pediatric population as a population, we all have to work together. And the only way to do that truly is through a clinically integrated network where we are sharing our data. We can see what each other's doing. We can see where we are compared to our peers.
And that's possible now through electronic medical records. Putting the patient at the center is as simple as organizing the way we deliver care so that it is best for the patient and the family.
It says to those residents that I matter. I don't have to leave my community to get basic services or needs. You go to a certain poor part of the city and there are no health options, and that's why people go to the emergency room, because there isn't a My Children's that provides that option.
To be a great city, you have to look over the long term. If our children are not healthy, we're not going to reach that goal. So we opened up a My Children's in South Dallas. You saw a couple things happen, okay? First of all, the community has changed already because there's something new in town. When people see something new, they get excited about it. Second, it's got healthcare professionals that are friends, and it makes the whole healthcare enterprise a little less threatening.
I think with My Children's, it's closer, it's faster, and they can get in and out. They can get their kids to maybe a daycare or a babysitter or somebody where they can go back to work.
I haven't talked a lot about my parents. I'd like to. My parents worked so hard, both of them. And some weeks it just wasn't enough to go around. Let me tell you, we knew what time the dollar store opened and closed. But here's what I need to say. Without them, I wouldn't be a valedictorian. Honestly, who knows if I would have even have graduated. That man and woman that you'll see there tonight, they took responsibility for me and my asthma. And once they knew what to do, they made sure I knew it.
The faith-based community is the soul within the soul of the city. It holds, it's the moral compass, it's the place that calls us to look beyond our own selfish motivations, and the church should be the one place where they may not get it outside of the church, but the church is the place that steers them in the right direction, not just spiritually, but also from a health standpoint, from a financial standpoint, again, helping people to become whole individuals.
That vision is going to be accomplished when our families and our kids have a sense of hope for the future. When people expect themselves to be healthy, they do the things that are necessary to be healthy.
Tonight, you step out on that stage and deliver the valedictorian speech for Roosevelt High School class of 2020. Congratulations. I hear you're going pre-med.
I am. You asked me earlier how I feel today. That's hard to describe. Every graduation is an accomplishment. And even though I'm just starting out in life, I know that graduating high school is not something that can be done by yourself.